Dear beloved candidates, I welcome you to lesson 31 and I greet you all. Before I take you through lesson 31, we need to make corrections for the previous work, which was about reporting statements in future simple tense. And our instruction, the instruction was change the sentences below to reported speech. That means the statements or the sentences were in direct speech. For you, we are supposed to change them to reported speech. Here, the first question began with a speech tag ended with the actual words of the speaker. So your work was changed to reported speech. And you are supposed to take note of our guidelines or what we call the keywords in the question. So here we have the first word is pronoun we, which you had to change to they. We have our modal verb shall, which you had to change to would. We have our possessive adjective our, you had to change it to their. I think that's all. So if you did that, you were able to change the statement to reported speech. And the answer is the traders said that they would open their shops after the lockdown. If you wrote this answer right, bravo. Question two was, I may write a letter to my pen pal next week, said the candidate. These were the candidate's words, not your words. Your work is to report. You're normally instructed to report what you heard from somebody. That's why you have to take note of the guidelines or make some changes. Here, the keywords in the actual words, I have the pronoun I, proper pronoun I, which you have to change to he or she. I have the modal verb may, you have to change it to might. I have possessive adjective my, you had to change it to his or her. Then I have next week, which you had to change to the following week. If you did so and you took note of our keywords in the question given, so you were able to change the statement to reported speech. And the answer is the candidate said that he might write a letter to his pen pal the following week. This is what the candidate said you heard from him and you reported. That's why we have with normally say change the sentence to reported speech you heard and you reported the words of the previous speaker to somebody. So question three reads, if we separate these crops, we shall get good yields. Who said these words? The farmers. Maybe you heard the farmers saying these words. Your workers report. They might have said these words last week, for you have reported in this week. So you need to make some changes and take note of the keywords in the question. Here, my keyword, I have pronoun we, which you had to change to they. I have pronoun this, which you had to change to those. I have another pronoun we in the main verb, which also you had to change it to they. I think that's all. Before that, we have also our modal verb shall, which you had to change to would. So if you did that, you were able to get the answer correctly, which is somebody can ask, what did the farmer say? What did you hear from the farmers? So you report and say the farmer said that if they spread those crops, they would get good yields. That's what the farmer said. Question 4 was, it reads, Nandutu said, it began with a speech tag, ended with the actual words. I must wear a face mask today before I board a taxi. These were Nandutu's words. You heard them. Your work was to report to somebody. Maybe you heard. Maybe you were supposed to report the police officer. What did Nandutu? Somebody can ask, what did Nandutu say? Now report what you heard from Nandutu. But there's change of time. That's why we need to make some changes. For example, our pronoun, proper pronoun I, you have changed it to she, referring to Nandutu. You have changed must to had to. You have changed today, add the verb of time to that day. So we have here board, which you have changed to boarded because of time, change of time. So what did Nandutu say? Somebody can ask you. Then you begin and say, Nandutu said that she had to wear a face mask that day before she boarded a taxi. That's what you heard from Nandutu. You report it to another person. Let's go to another instruction you were given. So it reads, change the sentences to direct speech. This one means the examiner said his or her question in reported speech. Your work was take them back or change them back to direct speech. What did you do? Question 5. It reads, the lady said that they would go to a disco dance that night. This statement is in reported speech. Maybe somebody reported what he or she had. the lady saying, or what the lady said. The lady said that they would go to a disco dance that night. For you, as a candidate, a serious candidate who is to sit for PLE this year, what are you supposed to take note of? Take note of the speech tag, separate it from the actual words, and take note of the punctuation marks, or the way your work must be punctuated, or the way the answer must be punctuated. Here, this answer must be any direct speech. What are you supposed to do? Here, we have began with a speech tag. The lady said, because you are changing the statement to direct speech to show us the real words of the ladies, the words that were said by the ladies. So we have begun with a speech tag. The lady said, you write your comma very well, open the quotation marks. Remember, the letter that begins the first word must be a capital one. Make sure you capitalize the capital W, because the letter that begins the first word in our actual words. We shall go to a disco dance tonight. Full stop first, then close the quotation marks. Take note of the way you punctuate your work candidates. Nobody will give you a mark if the work has not been punctuated very well. I beg your pardon. The lady said, we want to separate the speech tag from the actual words. We want you to show the actual words and the real words of the speaker. Show us the words that were said by the ladies. Here you are not reporting, you are showing us the real words that were said by the ladies. That means separate the speech tag from the actual words. By beginning with the speech tag, after the word said, put a comma, open up with the quotation marks or inverted commas. The first letter that means the first word of the actual words must be a capital one, first letter. We shall go to a disco dance tonight. That means we have changed that night, which is in reported speech, in the direct speech. That night changes to night. A full stop first, then close with the inverted commas. Question 3. It is question 6 reads. Question 6 reads, my grandfather said that he would celebrate his birthday the following week. I beg your pardon. My grandfather said that he would celebrate his birthday the following week. This statement is a reported speech, what we call the indirect speech. Here, a serious candidate, you have to show us the speech tag and show us the real words or the actual words that were said by grandfather, somebody's grandfather. Here, take note of the punctuation of your work. Show us the speech tag and show us the real words of the speaker. Here, our answer begins the actual words of the speaker and ends with a speech tag. Here, open up the quotation marks. I must be a capital letter because the word that begins our actual words. I will celebrate my birthday next week. Write a comma, close the quotation marks, end with a speech tag, which is said my grandfather. You can even begin with a speech tag by saying, my grandfather said, put a comma. My grandfather said, if you began with a speech tag, you have to say, my grandfather said, you put a comma, open the quotation marks. That means the keywords here in the statement that is in reported speech, we drop the said, we drop that. Then we change he to I. Remember, we want to show the real words of the speaker or the actual words of the speaker. That means we have keywords, we have changed he to I, would to will, his to my. That's all. So the answer is, I will celebrate my birthday next week. Who said these words? Said my grandfather. Take a note of that. I will celebrate my birthday next week. If punctuate the statement well, end with a speech tag, said my grandfather. Last question reads, the candidate said that they would not have the leavers party that year. These were the candidates, what somebody reported on their behalf. Somebody heard what the candidate said and reported to somebody. Somebody can ask, what did the candidate say? The candidate said that they would not have the leavers party that year. Now here, what I'm supposed to take note of? The way you punctuate the work, because you have changed the statement, back direct speak. Show us the speech tag and show us the real words of the speaker. What are you supposed to do? You can begin with a speech tag, or you can end with a speech tag. But here, our answer, we have begun with a speech tag. The candidate said, put a comma, open the quotation marks, take a note of that pronoun. It's the word that has begun our actual words. That means its first letter must be a capital one. We shall not have the leavers party this year. Full stop first, end with the quotation marks. Now, in the first question, which words have we taken note of, or our keywords? We drop out the said that, then we have changed they to we We have changed the would to shall. Which other word? This to that to this. If I change the statement back to direct speech, what I know that you are serious candidates and you punctuated this statement very well because we've taken you through a number of activities. So this work is not new to you. You can change the statements from direct to reported speech or from reported speech back to direct speech. If I change the sentence says from reported speech to direct speech, take note of the punctuation of your work. How do you normally punctuate your work? Because the examiner has asked you to change the statement from reported speech back to direct speech. That means you have to take note of the punctuation of your work. So after that, let me take you through lesson 31. Today's lesson 31, which is about reporting questions in future continuous tense. What are we supposed to take note of? We've said, when reporting statements in future continuous tense, we have two indicators. These indicators normally show you that the statement I've constructed, the statement I've said is in future continuous tense. What are these indicators? We have shall be and will be. Now, if I change this statement from direct speech to indirect speech, or from direct speech to reported speech, these two indicators, shall be and will be, must be changed to would be. Take note of that. If a statement is in future continuous tense, it must have shall be or will be. You can use shall be or you can use will be, followed by the main verbs in ing form. Take note of that. I beg your pardon. For you to know that the statement I've constructed, the statement I've written is in future continuous tense, it has two indicators. It has shall be or will be, followed by the main verbs in ing form. So here we have said that when reporting statements in future continuous tense, shall be and will be, change it to would be. Let me take you through the examples. Example 1 reads, we shall be sitting for PLE in December this year, said the candidate. Maybe the candidate said this was on behalf of other candidates. Now, take note of the keywords in this statement if you change it to reported speech. So this statement begins with the actual words or real words of the speaker. We shall be sitting for PLE in December this year. These are real words of the speaker. What are the keywords in this question? You have changed we to they, referring to the candidates. You have changed shall be to would be. Take a note of pronoun this, you have changed it to that. If I change the statement to reported speech, maybe somebody may ask you, what did the candidate say? You report and say, the candidate said that the candidate said that they would be sitting for PL in December that year. You heard these words from a candidate, a certain candidate, and you have reported. So the answer is, the candidate says that they would be sitting for PL in December that year. You've taken note of the guidelines or the keywords in the question given for us to be able to change it to reported speech. Example 2 reads, the examiner said, we shall be setting PLE examination in October this year. Who said these words? The examiners. That means here our question begins with the speech tag and ends with the actual words. Now, if you change it to reported speech, we need to take note of the keywords in the question given. That means in the actual words, we have pronoun we, which we must change it to they, referring to the examiners. We have the indicator, our modal verb shall be, which you have changed it to would be. We have this, which you have changed it to that. If you change this statement to reported speech. Now, what did the examiner say? Somebody may ask you. Because there is change of time, you have to say, the examiners said that they would be setting PLE examination in October that year. Beg your pardon. What did the examiner say? Somebody may ask you. For you have to report and say, maybe you heard their words. The examiner said that they would be setting PLE examination in October that year. Example 3 reads, the police will be arresting the sugar daddies in our village today, said the LS1 chairperson. This is where the LS1 chairperson's words, don't yours. Maybe you heard him or you heard her and you reported them to somebody, or you want to report them to somebody. Somebody may ask, what did the LS1 chairperson say? We have this problem of the sugar daddies who normally disturb our girls. We have that problem. So what did you hear? What did the LS1 chairperson say? If you report to your mom or to another or your aunt and say, the LS1 chairperson said that the police would be arresting the sugar daddies in their village that day. What did the LS1 chairperson say? Maybe you heard them. You see report and say, the LS1 chairperson said that police would be arresting the sugar daddies in their village that day. That is example 3. Example 4. Take you through example 4. It reads, as example. This example, our question begins with the actual words and ends with the speech tag. The bursar will not be coming to school this week. Say the school chef. I beg your pardon. The bursar will not be coming to school this week. Say the school chef. Who say these words? The school chef. So your work is to report what you heard the bursar saying or what the bursar said. So you report to somebody else and say, what did the bursar say? What did you hear? You begin and say, our speech tag is said the school chef. So you begin and say, the school chef said that the bursar would not be going to school that day. In our first question, it's the school chef who said these words. And who say these words. So if somebody can say, what did the school chef say? You report and say, the school chef said that the bursar would not be going to school that day. That's what he had, and he has reported to somebody. Let me take you through the activity. Referring to this topic, the instruction reads, change the sentences to reported speech. That means our questions are in direct speech. You have to change them to reported speech. Question one reads, the suppliers will not be bringing any commodities to our shops this week. Who said these words? The traders. Now, following our guidelines and taking note of the keywords in the question, we will be able to change this statement to reported speech. Question 2 reads, the addresser said, I shall be posting my letters in the evening today. These were the addresser's words. Your work is change this question to reported speech. Following the guidelines we gave you previously, you'll be able to change this statement to reported speech. Question 3 reads, we shall not be sitting for examinations. Say the true ones. Remember, before you broke up for holidays, we gave you all the topics you are supposed to cover in primary 7. So in this question, we have a vocabulary true ones. The word true ones should not be a new word to you. If you have a dictionary, go and look it up for you to know the meaning. So here, question 3, we have begun with the actual words and ended with a speech tag. So following the guidelines we gave you previously, as serious candidate, we'll be able to change this statement to reported speech. Question 4 reads, the police officer said, we shall be arresting all the suspects this month. Who said these words? The police officer. These were the police officer's words. So their actual words were, we shall be arresting all the suspects this month. So what I know that a serious candidate will be able to change this statement to reported speech following the guidelines we gave you previously, and even take note of the keywords in the question before we change it to reported speech. Let's look at our next number. The last one says about the first instruction. The herdsman said, we shall be taking the animals to the abattoir this evening. I beg your pardon? The herdsman said, we shall be taking the animals to the abattoir this evening. These were the herdsman's words. Their real words are, we shall be taking the animals to the abattoir this evening. Now, candidates here, our question begins with a speech tag and ends with the actual words. Now, if I change this statement to reported speech, take note of the keywords in the actual words or in the real words of the speaker. For you to be able to change this statement to reported speech, what we call the indirect speech. So candidates, I know that you'll be able to change these statements or the statements we have given you from question 1 to question 5 you'll be able to change them to reported speech following the guidelines. Then the last instruction reads, change the sentences to direct speech. What does it mean? Here, the questions are in reported speech You are supposed to change them back to direct speech. And question 6 reads, the disco jockey said that he would be playing pop music at Tomo's birthday party. I beg your pardon. The disco jockey said that he would be playing pop music at the Tomo's birthday party. So what are you supposed to do here? You are supposed to change the statement to direct speech. Show us the speech tag and show us the actual words of the speaker. Take note of the punctuation of your work. Your work must be well punctuated if you change this statement to direct speech. Last question reads, not the last, the second last reads, Mary said that her mother would be baking cookies in the afternoon. I beg your pardon? Mary said that her mother would be baking cookies in the afternoon. This statement is a reported speech. Somebody reported these words, heard what Mary said, and reported them. Now, for you, your work is show us the speech tag and the actual words Mary said. What you have to take note of is take note of the punctuation of your work, those punctuation marks, separating the speech tag from the actual words of the speaker. What I know that we've taken you through this work, we've given you a number of activities, you'll be able to get this work correctly. Last question reads, which is in reported speech. The Reverend said that the choir would be singing hymns at the vigil that evening. The question is in reported speech. Your work change it back to direct speech by showing us that speech tag separated from the actual words of the speaker. Who said these words? The Reverend. Show us the speech tag separated from the actual words of the speaker. Take a note of the punctuation of your work, following the guidelines we gave you. Candace, I wish you a good day. We love you. Bye-bye.